Well, hi everyone, SV Tapatya, another week. We're sat here on the aft deck in the cockpit. And what's been going on this week, you may be wondering. First thing I did was to get these runners up on the main hatch entrance. I bought aluminium 90-degree angles and fitted them up there with screws. First of all, I fitted them with countersunk screws. I've got 3 bolts on each side running all the way through the deck, and the rest are screws. Fit them first with countersunk screws, as I said, but I didn't like that. I took them out again and put these bigger round head screws in there. Obviously the hatch runs on the outer portion of it, so the screws aren't in the way. And that looks good and stable to me. Quite happy with the way that's come out. Then the next thing I did, I told you I've been working towards getting that closed up. But sometimes this is how boat building goes, because you've got bits going on all over the boat and you start thinking about one thing or another. One of the things I was concerned about was that before I got too much of the hatch built, that I need to get in a bulkhead for the heads, the longitudinal bulkhead for the heads, and I was concerned about getting it through the hatchway before I closed it up too much. In fact, it wasn't necessary, I would have got it through. But anyhow, that got me thinking about that bulkhead. And the next thing I did was start thinking about that and actually got that bulkhead in position. Perhaps if we just cut there for a minute, Kerry, and you come up to here and I'll go down below. Yeah, hopefully it's light enough in here. Sometimes down below it's a bit dark. But anyhow, got these two sections in. It's the doorway coming in here. There will be a short bottom and a short top to give us that doorway, but they're glued in position, fixed in. And then that all led me to thinking about heights and the sort of height I needed the floor to be. I tried the composting toilet in there, came up with some measurements, and in the end I put these, what you see here, these Doug fir rails in just to raise the floor in the heads area. The floor section is cut, sits on top of there, and then before I get that floor section glued down or fixed down, I thought I'd better paint out the bilges there, and as you can see, got that done. And thought maybe now's a good time to have a word about bilge paint, because in a wooden boat there's a whole discussion about whether to paint the bilges or not. If you don't, it allows you to see the wood more clearly. If you've got any wet coming in and any soft bits of wood, you can see it better. It's not hidden underneath the bilge paint, but certainly a thought. For me, I like to paint the bilges out because it allows me to see if I've properly sealed between the floor beams and the ply. So I run around with a fillet of epoxy around everything. And once you paint it with the bilge paint, you can see whether there's any bits you've missed with that fillet and that it's properly sealed. So I really do not want moisture to be able to get underneath those floor beams between the wooden framing and the plywood and then sit there. So for me, the bilge paint is the last sort of indicator of that, and a layer of sealing, of course, as well. But there we are, that's where we are. Floor ready to go down. Coming on. I've got these two pieces of wood cut and ready to go, the top and bottom, glass either side, ready to go in there. Be soon. Then last weekend we were up at Hazel's boat. I did a little bit of electrical work on it for her, and we took the opportunity to shoot a little bit of video of having a look round the inside. Remember, it's a 28 foot Freedom 28 with twin masts, so fairly small inside as you'd expect, but she's quite happy with it as a liveaboard to live on, the comfort. So let's have a quick look around in there. So yeah, we're here on Hazel's boat, and we thought we'd have a little look around inside to get Hazel to give you a tour of the boat. Remember, it's a Freedom 28, so not going to be the biggest tour in the world, but we'll have a quick look around the inside of a Freedom 28, shall we, Hazel?
We shall. Let's do it.
Let's go for it.
Okay, so this is the galley, as you can see.
Pan that slowly. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, these are my little stoves. They're sort of camping cookers. Temporary. One day I'll fit something better. I guess that works with the gimbal. They're a bit too big right now, but they work for the time being. They cook my food, so that's good. The sink, very spectacular. I store all my food. I can store in here or under the settees, behind the settees. Sort of. I have a fridge under here, which I don't really use. I store all my water in here because the water tank seems to be a bit iffy right now. The water in there, at least. Yeah, and then if we come, I have a switch panel up there for all my necessities. Mostly I use the socket, the cabin lights, and the water pressure. All the others I don't touch that much. Yeah, that's
barometer there, I see. Yeah.
Yes, we have, and there's a switch for the batteries, so you can choose. First one is for the engine, the starter battery. Second is the leisure battery, and you can choose to use both as well. And then, if we take the stairs away, we have the engine room.
Good.
Yeah, so that's all of the two batteries you can see there. I can't tell you a lot about this, I have to say. I'm not an engine expert.
No, it's a Yanmar.
It's Yanmar, isn't it? Yeah. 11 horsepower, I believe.
Twin cylinder. I think it might be 13 horse, but I'm not sure. Twin cylinder, certainly. Diesel.
Yeah, diesel, that's true. I know that.
Yep, very nice.
Okay. So this is the head. Not all too big. It's got a toilet, it's got a sink which is covered by toilet paper at the moment. Then we have a hanging locker for hanging things like jackets and wet weather gear. I have all sorts of things in there at the moment, like shoes as well.
So the chef up there behind you?
Yes, I will fit it somewhere else. I think I'll fit it up there so that I can reach it from the cockpit. That would be better. Then this folds up to be a nav table. So I can give it a go. There, like this. And then you hang it in like that. And then my charts, so this obviously isn't big enough for full-size charts, but the ones I bought actually fit perfectly on this. So worked very well during our trip over here. So then we have the settees on each side, big enough for sleeping on as well, so it's long enough for a person to lay down. And my boat has a lifting keel, so this is the box for that. And if you want to lift it, you put a winch in there, which is this one here, the winch handle, yeah, and sort of grind it up or down, either way. And this chain sort of, it takes the tension off the belt, which holds it, usually. So, and then even further forward is the V-berth, and that's sort of the end of the boat, really.
What happens with that V cut out there, hasn't it?
Well, this is a very interesting thing. You can pull a piece of wood out, like this. Like this, and this nice V-shaped cushion sits on there, and then you have a bed.
Very big bed, actually.
Yeah, 3 people comfortably. So, well, if you ever want to, I don't know. Oh, that's weird. Yeah, and then the hatch up here, which opens just like any other hatch, really. Like this. Yeah.
And then the port side, of course, another settee.
Yeah. And there's various places of storage behind the cushions, like if you take this away.
Shall we come back and have a look? Oh.
There, and that's behind every cushion, like this, and then under each one there's a space like this. So lots of storage, which is very good. Yeah.
Very nice.
That's pretty much it, really.
Tour of my boat.
Tour of my boat, yeah.
Good. We'll cut, shall we?
Yes, let's do that.
Well, that's it for this week. Thank you for watching. You know, thumbs up, subscribe, please. And if you like what we do, see you next time. Bye.
We see it all in black and white and painted all so reasonably. I sit and wonder what we seem